Are you ready for the next assignment in Google Sheets? I need you to open your practice file. If you need to, go to drive.google.com and locate your practice file and get that open. So far, you should have class schedule. You should have a list of belongings. It's formatted. And you should have an activity that you did something to make a formatted picture on your own. We're going to add a new sheet today, so I'm going to click the plus. I'm going to double click where it says sheet 4, and we're going to name this one fast food. And I'm going to press enter to accept that. Okay, so fast food, this is what this assignment is about. You have a couple of options here. I want you to think of a meal when you go to a fast food restaurant that you like to eat. And we're going to go and research the information about that meal using the internet and going to the restaurant site and looking for the nutritional information. So my example is going to be McDonald's. Now, if you want to, you can do a few items from different fast food restaurants if you only eat one thing there, but I'm looking for at least 3 items. So like a typical meal. I'm going to start with filling out the information. So I have some of my heading items entered. A1 is going to be the restaurant. B1 is the item. C1 is calories. D1 is total fat. E1 is cholesterol. F1 is sodium. G1 is fiber, and H1 is sugar. There will be other bits of nutritional information available, but those are the categories we are going to focus on. So now I'm going to go to the McDonald's site. That's what I'm using, and I'm going to locate the nutritional information for my menu items. Okay, I've recorded my first menu item. I went to McDonald's. I chose a double cheeseburger, and I located the calories, fat grams, cholesterol, sodium, fiber, and sugar. And so I recorded that into my spreadsheet. Now you might notice you get your items cut off if your columns aren't wide enough. So if you need to, click in between the middle of the column and drag it wider. If you see that some of your text information is getting cut off, you can make your columns wider. Okay, so I'm going to go locate 2 other items at least, and you can either do a different location or you can choose the same location as if you were eating an entire meal there and not just one item. That's what I'm going to do. Alright, I have my information completed. I have a double cheeseburger, a small fries, and a hot fudge sundae, and I've located the calories, fat, cholesterol, sodium, fiber, and sugar information. So from this information, I can definitely see that these items are high in calories and high in fat, and in particular the hot fudge sundae is very high in sugar, and the cheeseburger is high in sodium. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some formatting of the information, and then what we're going to do is we're going to calculate some formulas. So I formatted the information, and you can do so as well. You choose what format you'd like to change. I changed the font size. I'll change alignment to center. I added borders, fill, and if you want to change the font color, you could do that. I didn't happen to do that. Okay, so now we're done formatting. We're going to calculate some formulas, and I'm going to assume that I ate all these things at the same time, and I want to get a total of the information that I collected, and if I was sitting eating this at one time, what the total would be for my consumption. Now, to make a formula, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You could obviously add these up, but we want the computer to do the work for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to click where we want the answer to go, and we're going to look for this little function button. And if you want a total, that would be the same as a sum. So I'm going to click the sum, and it'll say, what do you want to take the sum of? And I'm going to highlight these 3 cells. So it's a sum of C2 to C4. I'm going to press enter, and there's my sum of the information. So to the left, I'm going to put the word total, which, as I said, is the same as a sum. Now, there's a couple of different ways you could keep going to the total. You could also copy. That's what I always like to do, the easiest thing. So if you look really closely at the lower right hand corner of the cell, there's a little box. If I click and drag to the right in the same row, it's going to copy that total or sum formula. And I'm going to center that. And these are the numbers that I want to really stand out. So I'm going to fill them in red, but I'm going to change the font color to white. And I'm going to make the font a little bit bigger, so that I know the total, if I were to eat this meal, would be almost 1,000 calories, 41 grams of fat, 115 milligrams of cholesterol, 1,340 milligrams of sodium, 5 grams of fiber, and 55 grams of sugar. That's about eating like, I don't know, 10 to 12 teaspoons of sugar. Crazy but true. So hopefully this will raise your awareness on some of those fast food items that you're eating. Have fun. Let me know if you have any questions.